So the second technique that I demonstrated is the stipple technique, and it's quite a popular one in botanical illustration and the more traditional style illustration, and often done with rotary pen or ink pen rather than pencil. But it's a good technique to learn, and I'll do some demonstrations of this later on in ink as well, but we're not going to deal with that at the moment because this section we're dealing with graphite, but I will do some demonstrations with ink for those who are interested in it. And basically what it is very small dots that are positioned closer together to make more dense tone and lighter and further apart to make lighter tones. The dots should be the same size and the same shape as far as possible. They shouldn't be elongated into lines or misshapen. They should be as round and as near to the same shape as possible. And it's just the density that you use them with that make the difference of whether it is a lighter or darker tone. Now this is quite a slow technique. It will take you a while to do this, and it will probably take you a while to master this technique as well. It's a little bit trickier than the hatching and cross hatching that we've done in the previous drawing. You have to be patient with it and not rush it too much, because if you do rush it, you're most likely to get these odd shaped elongated dots and it doesn't look right. It doesn't make a good finish. So take your time with it. There's no rush. Work on something small. As I say, the garlic's quite a manageable size, but you could work on something even smaller if you like to try it out. The pencil is quite elevated in angle when you're applying the dots, so the nearer you have it up onto its tip, the more likely you are to create a round dot rather than an elongated one. And you can create all of the same form and detail with stipple as you can with any other shading technique, really. And you can work in lines with the dots and in shapes that follow contours. But for the most part, you work with them in large areas of dots together. It's not a case of just drawing a line and putting a few dots in. You've got to work with that shape and work with the light and shade, keeping an eye on it all the time, where the darkest areas are and where the lightest areas are. And hopefully you can start to see how the form is building now, and the detail where each segment of the garlic clove is indented away. We have darker shadow areas and lighter areas on the right hand side. So I'll work my way across the clove, gradually building up the tone in this way. And where you have edges, you should be able to get those dots evenly up against that edge so that there's no white gaps there that are obvious. If you find you have white gaps or patchy looking areas, you just go back in and fill in the gaps to even it out a little bit more. And it's important that you make sure that the tip of your pencil stays sharp. So if you feel that it's starting to dull a little bit at the tip, just tweak the end of it on the sandpaper, on your glass paper. Just rub it on it and it'll just sharpen up the edge again to keep those dots the same weight and shape and size. I'm going to let you now watch through to the end of this video without any more commentary. It's fairly self-explanatory what I'm doing, and try it out for yourself and see how you get on with it. As I say, don't expect to get good results with stipple straight away. It can take a while to get the hang of. Some people just seem to take to it and other people find it difficult. It just takes a little bit of time and patience to master.